Good morning from Dollywood. It's the Flower and Food Festival. We're here today in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee to explore and have a good time. Come along with us. All right, we are in line for Dollywood, and if you look, they are requiring a face covering for anyone over 5. They are doing temperature checks as well. Social distancing is also being observed on the tram ride up to the front entrance. Every other row is closed.
The inside of the park is set up beautifully. It's like a small town, really, like a small country town. In fact, if you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, you probably are familiar with Main Street, and this kind of has that same feel as Main Street. There's also plenty of shops, restaurants, and places where you can get food and drinks. This area with the umbrellas was just beautiful the way it was decorated. The umbrellas cover a large section of the park, and I believe that these are part of the Flower and Food Festival. I don't think they're here for the entire year.
The umbrellas provide a much needed shaded area and add a lot of color.
Another important part of the Flower and Food Festival are the topiaries. There's plenty of them to be seen, just like this umbrella with the butterflies. And right here we have the Flower and Food Festival shop. This festival is very similar to the Flower and Garden Festival at Disney World. However, you'll find that the prices here are a little bit lower than what you'd see at Disney World. They have quite a bit in this small shop, including coffee cups, water bottles, t-shirts, hats, and even a few gardening accessories. You can even buy real flowers here if you want to carry them around the park. This was our first time at Dollywood, and I have to say the theming is excellent. It's probably amongst some of the best theming I've seen at a theme park. The flowers, the scenery, the landscape, everything was just beautiful and immaculate. Everything you would expect to find in a good theme park is here, even the kids' souvenirs. And over here, a butterfly topiary, this one utilizing different colors of green plants to achieve the pattern in the wings.
All right, we're currently in line for Lightning Rod. I'll insert some footage from the ride right now.
The theming and the queue for this ride was great. Watch for that strobe behind the window. It's like somebody's back there working. Keep in mind, this video isn't sped up. This is a launch coaster that launches you up the hill.
So they're running 2 trains currently. They're sanitizing one train, and as the other one comes back, they'll unload and sanitize that train. So each train is sanitized before you ride.
Your safety is our #1 priority. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you and your family.
just got off Lightning Rod, and man, that was amazing. What a great ride. It propels you straight up the hill. There's no lift chain. You go up the hill. I think it's 47 miles an hour up the hill. It's all powered lift, so what an amazing ride.
I really love the theming in this area. The old classic cars, the 50s style diner, and the old auto garage really sets this area apart from the rest of the park.
This restaurant is for the birds. Ducks, that is. There are plenty of them over here.
This restaurant wasn't open while we were there, but it wasn't a problem.
During the Flower and Food Festival, they have many specialty food items. These are some of the other offerings at these specialty booths.
Chicken stir fry, zucchini cake, and frosted coconut cupcake.
As well as these items.
Chili lime skirt steak, that sounds good, and the caramelized Brussels sprouts.
I think we're gonna try the lobster roll. And possibly that blueberry lavender lemonade. That sounds delicious. All right, so we ended up getting the lobster roll, the blueberry tart, and the blueberry lavender lemonade. So we also ended up getting the chili lime skirt steak over panzanella salad, as well as the Brussels sprouts. And because it's such a warm, hot day, we decided to get the blood orange lemonade as well. Both that and the blueberry lavender lemonade are excellent.
This topiary depicts the coat of many colors being made here. There were also a few areas serving specialty festival desserts, but we were so full from lunch we decided to skip over that. Over here, a couple of raccoon topiaries. These are cute. And as you can hear in the background, there is a train. And we'll be going on that shortly. They even have a store here where they sell various furniture and lighting and things like that for your home. All very country themed. And once again, the theming here is just amazing. Such a beautiful and relaxing park. There's also several signs located throughout the park with various quotes from Dolly. Just about every theme park has one of these rafting water rides, and Dollywood's no exception. And today, we needed it. It was hot.
So Dollywood River Rapids was a lot of fun. There's a lot of waterfalls that trick you because they are coming down very heavy, and then as you approach, they shut off down to a small trickle. So you still get wet, but you don't get soaking wet.
Well, we were about to hop on the train, but the line was a little bit too long. We realized we weren't going to get on this one, so we figured we'd stop in this shop and take a look around, see what kind of souvenirs and t-shirts and things like that they had. There's plenty of t-shirts and candy and beverages and things like that, but they also have a lot of frontier and western themed items like these sheriff's badges with various names on them. T-shirts in most of the shops are about $20, which is pretty reasonable for a theme park. Well, after spending some time in that store, it looked like our train was finally boarding. The train takes you around the entire park, which is a pretty long ride. and you'll get to see all the various roller coasters, as well as a few props they have set up here and there that are themed nicely to the country western style. Just before we head back into the station, we loop around some of the older rides. Just like most theme parks, they have the classic carousel. There's also the flying swings. And even a mini drop tower.
It's not quite Dumbo, but it is a flying elephant.
And while it's fun to watch people ride this, it's not my cup of tea. There it is. There's my cup of tea. Actually, these are the slowest teacups I have ever been on. I actually sped this video up because it was going so slow.
All right, I've heard that if there's one thing you got to try here, it's the cinnamon bread. And we're going to head into the grist mill and get some. Well, that was ridiculously good. So good, we forgot to take a picture of it. It may look just like bread. This just happens to be one of the parts that doesn't have butter and cinnamon and sugar and all kinds of goodness on it. This is absolutely great. We also opted to get the icing and the apple butter. Both are really good. Not necessary, but good.
And again, with more of the great theming, the water from the mill actually travels this entire walkway. Along this area, you'll find various shops, like this one that sells pottery, and over on the other side, not far from here, they have a wrought iron shop that sells pieces made here on the property. Perfect for shepherd's hooks, maybe to hang a flower pot in your yard, various gateways and things like that. This area of the park is rather unique. This netted-in area contains recovering bald eagles that were injured and can no longer survive on their own. Here's an up-close view of some of them.
If you've ever wondered how big a bald eagle's nest is, here's an example for you right here. That's huge. It's bigger than most people's bonfire pits.
And finally, we're off to a dark ride of sorts. It's a dark ride and a little bit of a thrill ride.
Weak back or not, Luther, here I come.
All right, so this is Blazing Fury. It's a dark ride mini coaster. It's a little out of date, but it's still fun. And it was a walk-on. It was excellent. We just walked right up and we were next in line to ride. Fun little ride, but it could use an update.
This ride on the right-hand side, known as the Tennessee Tornado, was actually closed when we approached it. I'm not quite sure why the ride was closed. Maybe it was technical difficulties. We never saw it run for the entire day. And here in the background we have the track for the Tennessee Tornado. It's a corkscrew style roller coaster, and I've been on several of these before, so I don't feel too bad that we missed out on this. Over here is the Wild Eagle roller coaster, and I plan to ride that, but I'm going to ride the Fire Chaser Express first. Next to this dedication sign dedicated to firefighters around the world is the Fire Chaser Express entrance. And I do have to apologize for the audio in this next clip because it was recorded with my phone and it sounds terrible.
Well, we just got off Fire Chaser and it was a blast. If you've ever been to Disney World, it's a lot like Slinky Dog, maybe a little bit more extreme because it does go backwards at the end of the ride. Right, I'm heading up to ride Wild Eagle now. This is one of those roller coasters where you sit on the outside of the track. There's 2 chairs on each side of the coaster with no track up. So this is Mystery Mine. Unfortunately, I was not able to ride the last one. And I don't know if we're going to be able to ride anything else because lightning has shut all the rides down. So we're headed into the newer area of the park right now, the kids area, Wildwood Grove. All right, this is Wildwood Grove. It's the new kids area. And I believe this just opened last year.
There's a brand new restaurant over in this area called Till and Harvest, and we're about to eat there. But first, let's take a look around. The theming in this area is quite a bit different from the rest of the park, but it has a very new, modern, clean look, and everything is very well themed. All of the rides are still closed at this point because of the lightning, so you'll see people just kind of sitting around and relaxing. A lot of people chose to do some shopping, and some of us even decided to go grab a bite to eat. Take a look at how big those log slices are. So this restaurant is similar to a Chipotle or Qdoba if you've ever been to one of those.
For dinner, we ended up getting the bowls. I ended up getting the chili steak. This one is the chicken. And the nacho. Here is the Great Tree Swing. Unfortunately, nothing is open as of yet because of that, which is still causing some lightning in the area and keeping the park closed. This area of the park is themed so nicely. It reminds me a little bit of Animal Kingdom. Normally this area would be a splash pad area where the kids could play in the water a little bit with some fountains here and there. Unfortunately, because of our current circumstances in this country, it is closed. There is no water available. Well, everything may be closed right now, but the souvenir stores are definitely open, so when there's nothing else to do, let's take a look around. This is a cute ride. I've never seen one of these. It is also closed right now. But there are these black bears, and it's very similar to going on a carousel. The black bears go up and down as you move along the track. So they do have several zones throughout the park where you can take your mask off and relax for a bit. Get some fresh air. This is another new kids ride. It's called Frogs and Fireflies. We can walk over and take a look at it. It's not running currently. This area is completely closed right now because of the current situation, not because of the lightning. It is an indoor play area for kids. It's called Hidden Hollow. I did see a video of it. It looks pretty cool, and I bet the kids would love it, but unfortunately, it's just not something that can be done right now. There's a playscape and lots of touching and interactive items inside. This one is called the Mad Mockingbird, and I'm sure you've seen this ride before. And the rides have finally reopened. Apparently we got the okay from the weather service. Lightning has passed, and the rides are open again.
This ride is called Dragon Flyer. It's a suspended coaster that's made more for kids. There's no inversions, no upside down, and no steep drops. This was my daughter's favorite ride, and we ended up going on it 3 times.
These are lumberjack lifts for kids. Small drop towers.
The park had very limited hours, and I think that was due to the current situation that was going on. But it was about 7 o'clock when they closed, and when we got to this area, everything was already shut down. There's a location that had pizza over here, and on the right, this is the biggest drop tower in the park. This one goes up quite a ways.
That is the big drop tower there.
Even the drop tower is well themed. Look at the water feature out front. Just around the corner from the drop tower is Whistle Punk Chaser. And if you notice that orange track in the background, that is a kid coaster. And as we exit the park, there's even more theming. Like this cowboy graveyard.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate you coming along with us to Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And remember, sometimes adventure can be a little bit further away.